I think every NCAA team just deals with that pain, or SEC teams, period. And then we've now added 2 new teams.
Oh my goodness!
To the ring of to the ring of pain. Oklahoma and Texas.
Let me go first with this, man. Oklahoma and Texas. Welcome to the SEC.
We'll be in the SEC
2025.
In 2025. Yes.
Look, I'm just gonna tell you this. You called me and you was like, bro, Oklahoma and Texas are in. I was like, I know, I seen. And you was like, how you feeling about it? Because we're going to talk about it in your first episode back. And I was like, this is horrible. It's more of, this is a money move. They're not thinking about football.
It is.
You like as bad as the NCAA, like the actual NCAA is, you need that in the NCAA. You need someone to be like, okay, here's how this goes. They obviously have the power, but if you have the SEC taking in teams like Oklahoma and Texas, and 2 other teams have called about it that we'll speak about in a second, and if those 2 teams join, I'm talking we are gonna have the SEC separate from the NCAA. I can almost guarantee that SEC will be making more money than the NCAA. They can afford the stuff that the NCAA is paying for. They can just do that on their own. And this is horrible for the sport. Horrible. I think it's horrible.
What's even crazier is how desperate they are for it to happen. Like, they're early terminating their contracts with the Big 12
and it was a unanimous decision. It was
unanimous.
This is horrible. This is a horrible move because, like, I'm telling you right now, I can see it happening that the SEC, there's going to be Division 1AA, there's going to be Division 1A, which everyone's in right now that we're talking about, and there's going to be the SEC above that. They're going to they're basically making their own division. That's how it's going to be.
They should kick 2 teams out, to be honest with you. I think Vanderbilt can go.
Vanderbilt can go. Kentucky can go. Bro.
Vanderbilt needs to be in like the American Conference.
Bro, they need to be in the Sun Belt. What are you talking about? They need to be in the Sun Belt.
Don't do them.
Bro, they need to be playing in South Alabama, bro. What are you talking about?
They probably still wouldn't win the conference. Actually, Vanderbilt needs to be in the FCS.
You want to talk about some SEC ball? I'm going to show you how to play some SEC ball. Loses 72-0, man. What are you talking
about? Vanderbilt needs to be Division 3.
Have you ever heard about that visit? I think it was a Georgia player. He took a visit to Vanderbilt, and they were like, what is your worst? I think it was Terry Godwin or something like that, or it was Isaiah McKenzie. And they were like, what was your worst visit? And he was like, Vanderbilt. Their locker room is so old. Like, he was talking about how, like, they had wooden lockers. It was horrible, bro. Oh my god. I was like, bro, what? I was like, how are you a Division 1? College game day has been to Vanderbilt twice, bro. You know how many times they've been to Harvard and Yale? And they are not even a Division 1A team.
Who is committing to Vanderbilt? How much trouble do you have to be in to have all these choices and to pick Vanderbilt? I'd pick UTSA over Vanderbilt.
Bro, Vanderbilt, bro, like, that's like when Vanderbilt's like, you have offers from like Tulane, you got offers from like Houston. Houston's better than Vanderbilt. I would say like Tulane. I would choose Tulane. I would say like Georgia State. You got Charlotte 49ers on there. And you just like, at least I got Vanderbilt. I'm going to the SEC.
Don't diss the Charlotte 49ers and my boy Alex Highsmith, Steelers outside linebacker. That man looking to build something special this season. He from them Charlotte 49ers. No, wait,
was it Charlotte? Was it? No, it was Coastal Carolina that did really good last year. I thought it was Charlotte. I get them two mixed up a lot. But no, yeah, the Vanderbilt.
I think you got to be, your GPA got to be low. You gotta be past due on committing.
I just think, like, if Vanderbilt's that school where they're like, it's my favorite team growing up, I gotta go there. That's the only way I can see you going to Vanderbilt.
Whose favorite school is Vanderbilt?
You gotta be from like the town of Vanderbilt. Like it's like.
Are the academics even good?
Probably.
What did they spend money?
I think they good at academics. I think that's the only thing they got going for them. No, baseball. Never mind baseball. Baseball. Vanderbilt's dominating baseball.
Oh, yeah. Vanderbilt does have a good baseball team, so that's probably their whole thing.
That's the only way they make money. You seen their football stadium? They don't look like a Texas high school football stadium.
It's bad. Like, they have fans sitting on the grass.
It's not even that.
It's so bad.
Game day went there for Georgia and Vanderbilt for some reason. Who even knew why that was a game day, the selection? But Georgia had the whole stadium red. And Vanderbilt's in Tennessee, bro.
Yeah, they don't have any fans. They don't have any fans. I think the we got completely off topic. We just started bashing Vanderbilt, but I don't know. It's weird to me because you got, in much respect to Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma could actually come to the SEC and do some damage. Like, I think they'd be all right. But I look at Texas, and let me not bash Texas because we have bad blood with Texas fans. But I don't know, and maybe Texas eventually would be good in the SEC as well. I don't think a lot of people want to say that Texas would come to the SEC and lose 4 games a year. I don't really think that's true. I think a lot of their games would be bigger challenges. I'd love to see Texas join the SEC East with Georgia and everyone. I think that'd be good for them.
See, that's the West. That's why that's my big problem with this move, and I'm not saying it because I'm scared of them. But Alabama is going to be joining the East. Alabama and Auburn will be moved to the East.
Oh.
And that's the only logical way.
What you mean you're not scared of them? You're not scared of Bama?
It's not like I'm not scared. Like, it's not because I want to play Bama every year. But like, it's more the fact that we won't win as much SEC East championships. Our recruiting will go down because, like, you know, they'll be like, well, you're not even gonna be able to make it to the SEC championship because you want to play Bama every year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be bad. Yeah. Like, it'll be bad. And we know how Bama is. So, like, that's another thing that I don't like about
trust me. We know firsthand how Bama is. We've seen some big L's. You say Clemson does, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's like...
Don't do Clemson.
It's more of like, bro, this is going to be bad for the sport in general. The SEC is going to dominate everything. And it's like, it's not even that, like, other teams aren't good. It's just like... Why is everyone going to the SEC? Like,
and they're so desperate because I think they have to pay like a $75 million fine, which is probably nothing for teams like Oklahoma and Texas, but they have to pay like a $75. And actually, fun fact, they're leaving the Big 12 after this season.
Fun fact, the Big 12 is basically disbanding, bro. Kansas is trying to join the Big 10. You want me to repeat that? Kansas is trying to join the Big 10. The Big 10 is going to have Rutgers and Kansas battling for who's going to go defeated.
Pretty much. Who's going to win no games. I think college football is moving in this weird direction that I don't really like. I hope we get a college football game beforehand. That way I don't have to play a college football game where it's only 2 conferences.
Yeah, you know I think it's moving in a direction where it's more about money than it is about the game. And I told you that way before the NIL. Like, I told you that way before that. I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be about money. And we were talking about Bryce Young earlier. You talking about that man destroying football careers on the field. That man's destroying paychecks off the field. That man's made
$1 million.
$1 million before he even touched the field.
Kayvon Thibodeau signed a $1 million deal with Nike.
Oh yeah, of course, bro. He goes to Oregon. Like, that's the thing. Like,
exactly.
That's what I didn't like about, because I think we talked about it on the podcast with Florida. Because Florida got accepted for it before everybody did. And I was like, I don't like this because Florida's just going to have, like, a lot of teams or a lot of players go there because they're going to be like, oh, well, I can just go there and get a bag. But, like, now you got, like, teams with the upper hand. You're going to have Nick Saban, who's going to be like, come to Alabama. Like, look at Bryce Young. He made $1 million before he even touched the field. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, I'm going there. Oregon, bro, we have exclusive deals with Nike. You can get a Nike bag from
exactly. And I made that NIL video about who benefits the most, and I said Oregon because when you think of college football, I think Oregon's one of those teams that pop up because they have the best jerseys. Like you said, they got that exclusive deal with Nike, and there's just so many brand opportunities for players at Oregon. That's why I'm like, Oregon is really about to become a threat in college football. Like, we're about to see something from Oregon. That's the thing. Like,
you're gonna go to teams that people think of. So, like, off the top of my head, the people that are going to benefit the most just based off a name is Oregon, USC, Texas, Bama, Clemson. Those are Miami. Even though Miami's not that great, Miami's going to benefit off of this just because they have that name. It's just everybody knows the Hurricanes from 2000, 2002, that 34-game win streak. Everybody knows Miami Hurricanes.
And it's Miami, you know.
You win the city.
That's a pretty important city. And
that's why I say USC. You're in Los Angeles, and everybody knows the Trojans. Snoop Dogg. You're gonna have deals where you posing for advertisements with Snoop Dogg because he's a Trojans fan.
But you know, I think the big problem is that the NIL. I like the fact that players will now be able to like make money off their likeness, and they can get paid to have money. I think the big problem with it will be that you will have.
I just feel like teams that can't afford that to happen
teams
are going to diminish.
Exactly. Teams like
UTSA.
This hurts the smaller teams now.
UTSA is going to hurt.
Vanderbilt. I mean,
Vanderbilt.
Why you need to go to Vanderbilt? Ain't nobody going to offer you a sponsorship deal to play on SEC Network. Like, or why would we sponsor this guy when we can sponsor this guy at Oregon who's playing on Fox every Saturday,
exactly.
Or when we're sponsoring Clemson when they play on ESPN every Saturday. So it's something that I'm thinking about.
They're gonna fall off. Like you're gonna have these teams fall off, and then you're gonna be like, it's all falling in line for this Power 5, or this honestly is about to be a Power 2 conference division, where it's just gonna be the power conferences in it. And then the bottom conferences, you're going to have a bunch of 2 and 3 stars, not even 3 stars, probably just 1 and 2 stars battling out because they're not getting paid and they're going to be mad about it. And they're just fighting till they get a scholarship from a bigger school and transfer. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. Like teams, like, Kansas can benefit off of it from basketball, but I don't think that, does the NIL affect basketball?
It's every sport.
It's every sport.
Every college
like
player,
Kansas is going to benefit off it for like certain teams are going to benefit for certain sports. But it's like those other teams.
It's every school too. Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. So we're talking about hurting smaller, FBS schools, bro. Imagine
JUCO colleges. You hurting
exactly.
I don't know if community colleges have football teams anywhere, but if they do, you're definitely hurting them.
HBCUs. I mean, they took a kind of a leap. They took a leap forward this year with Deion Sanders at Jackson State, but now that players can get paid on a national scale, why would you commit to a HBCU? You're not going to play on national TV. You might get a few games, some national spotlight, but I mean, did you turn on your TV this year and see a Jackson State game? So it hurts. It hurts a lot of those smaller schools.
You're looking at a lot of players turning on TV on ESPN and being like, "Well, College Game Day visit this team twice every year. That's 2 weeks of the year I get exposure on ESPN from 10 a.m. to 11, like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then you're like, okay, this team also plays on ESPN 9 games out of the year. This team also plays on their separate network, like SEC Network, those other 2 games. So I'm still on the ESPN network. I'm also in, let's say I went to Clemson, so ACC Network. And let's say I went to Clemson, like I'm in Clemson. Clemson's a big name brand. That's already a check. I got Dabo Swinney, who's one of the most talked about head coaches. That's another check. And it's just, I'm a 4-star athlete. People are already going to notice me because I'm a 4-star athlete. That's a check. I mean, you're looking at stuff where, as in the other athletes going to be like, okay, well, my only offers are UTSA and Georgia State. And then you're going to be like, well, who knows UTSA? Who's good went to UTSA? Nobody. Who's good went to Georgia State? Nobody. Okay, well, it's just me picking out of this. Am I going to get a check from either one of these schools? No. Am I going to be able to go to one of these schools and possibly transfer to a team like Arkansas or Vanderbilt where I can possibly get a check? No. I mean, it's just.
I think that's a big reason. I think that's a big reason Oklahoma and Texas are joining the SEC too, because of the NIL.
I think it's also going to hurt the transfer portal. You're going to see. You think a lot of players are joining it now? Just wait. Just wait, because they're going to transfer just for name and brands.
Yep, I think a lot of top name players who didn't go to smaller schools might find themselves like leaving